Hello everyone, welcome to October Favourites. I am filming this a day early, it's the 30th of October, but that's because I've got my November nonsense videos starting from the 1st of November, so if you want to watch those, that's going to be coming up. There's not going to be any vlogs for the next month, and then actually not until after the new year, I believe, but then they will pick back up. So if you're interested in all the River Cruise stuff, that will be starting again after the new year. Next month, I've got my November nonsenses, and then I've got, like end of year kinds of videos, and then we'll be back after that. But if there are any favourites that do happen to come up tomorrow for my October favourites, I'll just mention them in my November favourites, but I think it's unlikely. Now also, very importantly, this is my first video that you're watching from my new camera. Yay! Now this was one of my birthday gifts, my main birthday gift of the year, and I am going to be using it from now on, but a lot of my videos are obviously behind, so you probably won't be seeing much of camera stuff until quite a bit later on, but we'll get there. So of course that is a massive favourite of the month. I've had it for about 10 days now and I love it. I love it very much. I'm still figuring out the settings, so if it's not great, I'm sorry, but I'm very excited by it. Now we're going to begin with movies because I've got 3, which is quite impressive. I've got Enola Holmes 2, which I've been waiting to watch for such a long time, and I finally was able to and I really enjoyed it. It was funny, it was really good. And I don't know what the actress's name is, but I love the lead actress. Next, I've got The Crimes of Grindelwald, which I thought I'd already seen. It's the second one in the Fantastic Beasts series, but I had absolutely no recollection of any of it. So if I have seen it, it obviously wasn't very memorable, but I really enjoyed it. And finally, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. Now, according to Netflix, again, I have already watched this, or I had many years ago, but I had no recollection of this one either, and I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. Next, 2 TV shows. Number 1 is Taskmaster Season 15, we finally finished it. And the second one is Assembled, but specifically the Loki episode, because that's the only one I watched, but I loved it. Now for books this month, we've got way less than the last 2 months, but still a solid 5, so about 1 a week. And they were all non-fiction. I didn't want that to happen, I didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened. So the first one is Angels of Death by Al Cimino, I don't know, but that was another NetGalley one, so there will be a full book review going up about that one a bit later on. That was read by Jot Davies. I don't know how to pronounce names. Next, I have Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, which was also read by Malcolm Gladwell, and this was a really good book, but it wasn't great. It was alright, and I do think I learned some interesting things from it, but it wasn't like the best book of all time. The next one I've got is The Day the Nazis Came by Stephen R. Matthews, which was read by Barnaby Edwards. This was a really interesting book. It wasn't necessarily informative in the same way that some of the other non-fiction books have been, but it was just really interesting. Number 4, Jews Don't Count by David Baddiel. This is the second time I've read this book, and with everything going on in the world, I just wanted to have a reread of it. And finally, number 5, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and also read by the author. I loved this book. This is probably one of my favourite non-fiction books that I've read, and I just really enjoyed it, and it was amazing, and I want to have a physical copy of it and just have it on my bookshelf forever. Now, if you are interested, actually we did speak about the books a bit more over on the Dear Hopefuls channel. We had a whole Booktober month, although I didn't talk a lot, but if you wanted to hear a bit more about it, that's where you can go to find out a bit more. And I have every intention of at the end of the year doing a non-fiction book ranking, because I would have liked to be, I did watch a lot of those kinds of videos before I got into my non-fictions, so I want to feed back into that. Now next, we're skipping ahead to food. I've got 2. Number 1, which has been absolutely life-changing for me, is raisins. These are chocolate-covered caramels, but then the caramel's not too sweet, and the chocolate's dark chocolate, and it's just really good. And I had my first one this month, and I've since had very many because I just love them. They're so good. So I've been using my laptop for a bit of extra light, so bear with. And then the second one that I've had was a tea. It was a Rooibos strawberry cream tea, and it was really good. Next, fashion. I've got the top that I am wearing. I got this one for my birthday as well from my mum. I don't know how well I can show it to you, but it's just a nice, easy, fancy-ish top. I like it. And actually with that, also this pin. This was totally separate, but it was also a birthday gift, but from someone else, and I really like it. Then for travel, I've got 2, and they are both hotels in Budapest. Number 1 is the Intercontinental, and the second one is the Kempinski Hotel Corvinus, I don't know. Both 5 stars hotel, which I very luckily was able to stay in for free, which is just unbelievable, and it was an amazing experience, and I have vlogged it, but again, that will be going up, I think, end of February, maybe even March, so be patient. And of course, finally, the camera, which I'm so happy about. And then to finish off my favourites, of course, I've just got my song of the month. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted for this month because I feel like nothing sprung out at me. I've not listened to a lot, I've not read a lot, there's just, I don't know, I've been very busy with other things this month. But I went back through my Spotify listening history, and the one that sprung out to me a lot was Amor by Gadri. Again, Gadri is the band I was obsessed with as a child and still a little bit am, and Amor is from their musical The Drie Biggetjes, which is the Three Little Pigs, and they're redoing that musical, which obviously when they announced it got me listening to it again, and Amor is one of my favourite songs from that musical. That and the titular number, I reckon. That's everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed my camera. I hope it's all okay. I will see because I'm still new to this. Today, I'm hoping to upload, if everything goes to plan, both my October favourites and my October recap, so that the 1st of November we can start fresh into our November nonsense. Because then the colours are in order and I like that. So fingers crossed for that. I hope that all goes to plan, and I will see you all at the other end of the month, because until then everything's been pre-filmed, because that's how I lived my life, and I'm so glad I did that because I'm very busy at the moment. So that's all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!